Hello, hello! I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. As you can see, we've covered Oshawott Samurott before. Difference is, I'm pretty sure at that time, was it confirmed? I don't think it was confirmed that Samurott got a Hisuian form. It's weird, because I remember Zorua and Braviary being in the poll, and it was voted upon no, but I don't think I mentioned Samurott for whatever reason. Odd. Anyway, it either didn't exist, but I didn't ask, so, yeah, when did I start? Here, hold on, what is this dated? It says October 3rd of 2021, so yes, Samurott didn't exist back then. Alright, you want to start off with some generic bullshit? Let's go ahead and knock this out of the way. Poseidon and Neptune, they're the same thing, technically, but also you can take Neptune and do, planet motif if you want to. Planets are fine. Deities are overdone and cliche as fuck. Like, that's what literally every uninspired dumb shit that's ever made a Pokemon nickname has done at some point. Tsunami is just a generic water type nickname. It has no real significance. It's just something you can throw on when you're bored and have nothing else better to use. Sokka is Avatar. We've seen Sokka in the past a few times before. I don't think there's a Boomerang Pokemon out there yet. If so, that would be kind of funny, especially if he's a water boomerang Pokemon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other on Sokka. Avatar nicknames, I'm going to say, are generally pretty fine. Samurott Jack is one that I like, and I even mentioned here at the end of this that the two I liked were Samurott Jack and Harry Otter, and that's pretty much the only things I mentioned that I liked during the entire episode. This is a great foreshadow. Mako, I'm unsure why that one's got a thumbs down, because I feel like there was some point where I talked about Mako Tsunami from Yu-Gi-Oh! And being like, oh, well, you could put the names together and reference them like that. So, give that one, but on its own, no. Harry Otter was the one I literally just finished talking about a second ago. And also just want to highlight further down below, Mizu. Naming your Pokemon water makes you a dumb piece of shit. I probably talked about this in the original episode. I don't know. I didn't watch it. But Suijin, I have a small bias towards just because of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's actually kind of in reference to Japanese mythology, so that's where I'm divisive. It's like, on one hand, good. On one hand, bad. So, I wonder if Kazajin and, was it Sanga? I think that was the name. If the other Gate Guardians are also based off Japanese things. Wouldn't surprise me. After learning Nuatori was chicken, I can't trust Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. I liked Paris, cause its horn looks like Eiffel Tower. You can buy in Las Vegas. Location-based nicknames are fine. I think maybe naming the Japanese Pokemon after something French might not be the best choice, but sure. I've also been to Paris, Paris. What was it called? Was it called Paris, Las Vegas? I remember seeing that Eiffel Tower at night. We didn't actually go up on it, but I remember it existing. And I've been on the actual Eiffel Tower. I never went to the top though, because I was too afraid. C. Marai, kind of want to acknowledge that one for an attempt. Would it be something I'd use? No, but you tried. I don't remember Navy SEAL, but I kind of like that one. I don't remember Kit Fisto either. Maybe I just looked past it. But yeah, Kit Fisto is like the fucking silliest name in all of Star Wars. I don't remember anything other than name. Ask me what it looks like. I don't fucking know. Someone out there remembered though. We saw Sokka. It's only fair to mention Katara as well. Just a reminder. Everything you put on the internet is there forever. Anal Rapist the Oshawott. Auschwitz the Oshawott. You even have your names attached to those. And now it's here. Forever. We can do Honor as a Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style name that you could throw onto anyone, and at least he kind of gives, I guess, some sort of meaning behind it. Atlantis, I suppose, qualifies as location-based nickname if you wanted to do that. This one's updated to, well, or posted after, to include the Hisuian stuff. Lancelot is one we see all the fucking time for any sort of sword-based thing, and it's honestly kind of gotten kind of tiring to me. I just don't care for it. But, hey, maybe you like it. Sushi is one we've seen plenty of times in the past before, and I'm fine with it. We usually see it for fish-based Pokemon, which, kind of makes sense. But I don't see why you couldn't put on whatever the hell you want. Maybe not Tatsugiri, though. That's a bit too on the nose. It's never easy coming back to this stuff. Because, like, I don't even know if when I do the compilation video of this guy, if I'm going to include the redos or not. So anyway, Shelmurai we sort of saw, but better when we saw Samurott on Pokemon.net. Samurott is a little bit easy to not notice, but Shelmurai is very easy to notice in the sense that, like, it's very easy to notice a giant zit on somebody's face. So there's that. We already talked about Samurai Jack, or Samurott Jack, another improvement over what he put. Poseidon we already talked about. Saber Seal and Hunter are nothing significant at all, and like, I don't know, I was reading some of his description, and, you know, it always gets me that he talks in this collective pronoun like he's a business. We figured a samurai theme would fit the nickname just fine. Believe it or not, Samurott shares a lot in common with the Olympian god Poseidon. Its affiliation with water, magnificent beard, and mastery of a weapon. That's like the most fucking astrology-based vague bullshit you could ever say, ever. I want to know what's happened to this child, and, like, first off, if he's still alive, and, like, what is he doing with himself now? Beyblade. You know, as I was, like, scrolling through this, I was just busy thinking to myself, I'm like, you should feel special, Gabrielle, because I'm just getting fucking tired of all these AI sites. Like, there's not even a point in looking at them anymore, but at least that one was kind of unintentionally funny. Yeah, like, it's honestly getting really stale looking at shit like this. And, what's it? This bitch, the Bourbon Mums, or whatever? Like, why? What's my fucking motivation here? Like, what's the point of this? This dumb bitch here, Rashmi, Sushimi, like, I don't feel any interest in looking at this just so I can see the same basic shit that Gabrielle's doing, and then a combination, and she got more, and then a combination of what the fuck Miraz does. Like, it's all just, this is like what would happen if AI had Tourette's, but tried to disguise itself as, I'm being helpful. Like, no, dude, you're seriously a plague on the fucking internet. Like, when funny is there in the very first things you see is Spot, Brock, Dante, Daisy, Sparky, Squirt, like, what is funny about this? We could be using this web space for porn. People enjoy porn. They don't enjoy this. What the hell is this? I can't tell if this is a poser or if this is like the original post and it just like, it's strangely fitting for Samurott. It's weird that a samurai nickname fits Samurai Jack. Who would have guessed? A little typical, but it's a water type. It also holds weapon. Aqua Warrior. I so smart. It looks like Samurai, almost like it based on Samurai. All of these nicknames are very similar in translation. See, like, it's got the little shitty format identical, which is why I feel like maybe it is him, but I don't fucking know. Think twice is what you fucking need to do. Anyway, that's it as far as regular Samurott. I already got this pulled open in a new tab, so we're going to look at the original comments for that video, along with the spreadsheet. We'll do the spreadsheet first. Samurai Jack, we already talked. Oshawott? Okay, sure, whatever. And then Pascal is Animal Crossing order. Cool. Yeah, nothing of fucking worth there. Scrolling down to see what you fine people said. Pascalop. It just looks like a Reggie. Okay, my Samurott is called Masamune. Let me take a small look at this. No. That, I think, was on the fucking ranker. Musashi, that was also on the ranker. Which, it's like Sword Man from Japan who was a samurai or whatever. It's literally what fucking Jesse and James are based off of in Japanese. In case you didn't know. Or named after, I should specify. Also, I'm gonna be that guy. I don't think Samurott's bad, but I definitely think I prefer Hisuian Samurott more, because one of the biggest things that pisses me off about Samurott is its move pool. I don't know, it just doesn't strike me. Like, its moves just don't complement its stats in a way. So I feel like Samurott is probably I'm not gonna say my least favorite. Him and Tepig are tied for terrible. Honestly, I think all three of them are pretty fucking terrible. But if I had to pick one, the least terrible is probably superior. Anyway, We're going for Hisuian Samurott nicknames. I technically actually have a Reddit thread. It's this one right here pulled up, and it's also right down here for whatever reason, because they redid it for Hisui. So we're going to start there, and then we'll look and see what a couple years did for Samurott. Revolver, because Revolver Oshawott is close to Revolver Ocelot. I like that idea. And I have Revolver as just a generic name where it's like, I don't know, put it somewhere, I guess, but I don't know who. I'm not going to start putting it there, but I still like the name. Typhoon for another generic water type nickname that you can throw on at anyone in case you have literally no other idea of what the fuck to use. Actually, you know what? I want to take a second, because let's take the shitty deity motif and say that if you named, because this is kind of a funny idea. Like in the sense of like Crash Bandicoot and Trance, where you have fake Crunch, fake Crash, fake Tiny. I don't know. There was some other fake character. So like, what if you named one Poseidon and then you named the other Neptune? So this way, it's like, here's the real one, here's the fake one, and then that makes the shitty deity thingy at least kind of a joke. Like, my sister had a dog growing up named Zeus. So then when she got another dog, I was like, you could name it Jupiter. QWERTY because of the first 6 letters on the keyboard, and I didn't know what else. Is it difficult for people to type like that? Like, I argue that it takes more effort to capitalize every single word than if you just didn't capitalize anything at all. Calhoun is a school. It's a fucking community college. Go to hell. I just want to say real quick, it wasn't until I started searching Hisui did I see Ronin 50 billion times in a row. It was already on there in the original version, but going from like, yeah, you know, like maybe 3 or 4 people used it to every single dumb fuck on the planet using it, just know that if you pick it, you're going to be in a room full of other people with the same fucking Samurott nicknames. I named it Duality because Samurott duels, and they spelled duel wrong. I don't necessarily mind the idea of Duality as a nickname, because I like the Slipknot song, but maybe that would be better on like, I don't know, my first thought's like Doduo or Zweilous, but those both evolve into things with 3 heads. Skullvillain, there you go, that's a better one. I think that's like a stupid question. Yeah, that's definitely stupid. Anyway, we already got the 3 Musketeers at the end of the game with the fucking Musketeers, technically. And then you got Keldeo being the 4th of the 3 Musketeers because they just couldn't let 3 be enough. So, and then you could do Zoro. Why not? Or, even better, shit, I might just use this. Zora, like fucking Zelda. Those have boomerangs and Majora's Mask, sort of. You could name it Macau? Trying to think of another Zora. I mean, Sidon, obviously, but, like, my feelings towards that name is diminished because of the fact that Sidon is just a shortening of Poseidon. It makes me so upset. You could do Dorifin if you wanted to, Ruto, Mifa. But I'm just like, I don't know. Macau just stands out, and it's like, that's a good name. The rest are like, those are meh names. I don't particularly care for this one too much. Like, I don't know, I'm undecided, because part of me is like, this is desperation. You're just trying to talk about anything. And I'm unsure, because, like, technically I saw Katana, like, the Mortal Kombat character spelling, even though Katana with an A is how the blade is spelled, so, yeah. I don't know, I don't hate Chris, but also I'm trying to think, like, maybe that's, I can't decide if that's a good or a bad thing. Like, it's definitely a bad thing on an Aegislash. You shouldn't do that. That's stupid. So first, I kind of want to take the piss out of this just because she put super unique in, like, capitals and exclamation points. So that's just funny to me. But then as we go down, I see Eventide, and I don't hate that. That's not bad. And I'm going to think of Eventide Island from Breath of the Wild. I don't know how many other people are going to share that sentiment, but I'm kind of okay with it. Bermuda Triangle. Okay, well, we've reached the bottom for the Hisuian stuff, and it wasn't too much different. I do feel like there was a lot of the same shit being parroted a lot, so I don't know. I didn't write anything down because nothing really struck me. That last Reddit where it was like, which one is it? Yeah, this one right here. What did everyone name their starter Pokemon? That one, that was beaten to death with things like Ronin. And then there was a few people, like that first one that I saw, Zoro. I was like, okay. And then there was another guy who was like, Zoro, even though it's not that original. I'm like, I don't know, man. You're like the second person to see it. And then there was like a few others. It sounds weird to say I don't even remember. But I will tell you that the names that I saw were the same names over and over again a lot. So like a lot of people gravitate towards a specific thing and then hive mind it. For me personally, like seeing Zoro and turning into Zora and then turning that into Macau is far more exciting to me because I'm like, I could actually use that. And I probably will, if I'm honest. If you could think of a secondary Zora that I could like use, that'd be great. Because I fucking can't. You know, there's also like Toto and Lulu, but I'm like, those names are dumb. I don't want those. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at the comment suggestions. This one, this kept fucking me up because I kept looking at words and being like, is that the one that Chaotic put? It's not. Other people were putting like it was something else. Masame or something like that. I don't know, and I just didn't care. And then his is, every time I look at it, I think it's Muramase, the Demon Blade, that fucking one game for the Wii. It's not. It's a water elemental katana in Final Fantasy 12. The name means Village Rain or Autumn Rain or whatever. Anyway, that's reference to Final Fantasy. That's fine. We've talked about the idea of like spells and RPGs not exactly being the worst idea for nicknames. It's usually kind of hard because the spells and names and shit like that is kind of shit in most games, but you know, there could be something there. Maybe you might come across one that actually sounds good, so I'm taking this as a similar direction. And then I also want to give this guy a shout out for his fantastic username, way to go. Yeah, Typhoon, Tsunami, Sokka was another one that was really fucking popular, and that fucking blew my mind. Gotta be honest, I've never seen so many Sokkas in all my life. Katara, I'm kind of used to seeing that one. Sokka, hardly ever. And like, I slightly understand, but like, a boomerang and a sword are kind of like not the same thing. You could do whatever you want, I can't stop you. I'm not gonna come over to your house and delete your Pokemon save file or release your Pokemon or whatever. I can't do that. I have things to do. But you know, that was a choice, but everything else there we basically talked about. I don't have any ideas or suggestions, so anything you can think of, feel free to put in the comments below. Give some to the ones you think are good. Be sure to distinguish the difference between regular Samurott and Hisuian Samurott as far as nicknames. Yeah, let us know what you'd use, and I'll be honest with you. How is this? Yeah, this is the third fucking... Every single starter I've recorded has been 40 plus minutes. And I am so not motivated to edit this shit. I started editing like a third of Decidueye and I'm like, wow, I really don't want to do this. Give me strength, because the starters are always the worst part of any fucking Name Raider experience, because they're always the longest. After that, what's next? Probably fucking Weirdeer. Weirdeer's probably not going to be shit. That'll probably be a much easier episode to get through. These starters? Oh, it's going to give me a while.